What is up, guys? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. This is the first Empower podcast episode. Wow, I'm so excited. This is the first episode of a podcast on my own. I am doing my own podcast that's going to be more about just health and wellness and like balanced living and fitness and nutrition and all the fun things about the health and wellness industry that I work in. So, before we get into all of that wonderful stuff, I am going to introduce myself a little bit here. So, for anyone who doesn't know me and where I've come from and what I'm about, I'm going to tell you. So, first of all, hi guys. My name is Emily Hennelly. Nice to meet you. Okay, so originally I am from Chicago, Illinois. Not like directly city of Chicago. I'm more from Geneva, Illinois, which is about 45 minutes west of Chicago. Not that you really need to know that, but if you're gonna look it up, now you know where it is. But I say Chicago because nobody ever knows where Geneva is. So there we go. I currently live in Glendale, California, and I work as a personal trainer with specialties in fitness, nutrition, and sports performance. So I have been in the fitness industry or worked in fitness for the last, I think, 6 years. Oh my gosh. Wow, 6 years. I started in Savannah, Georgia. So originally I went to college at SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design, and I studied photography with a minor in fashion design. And while I was there, of course, you got to get a job while you're in school because you're an adult now and you have to pay for things and things are expensive. So I started working at the college gym, and little did I know the impact that place was going to have on me. Just the people that I worked with were lifelong friends, and my two bosses, Eddie and Jamie, love them, really had a big influence on me and my fitness journey without even really realizing it. So I started at the gym as a student trainer, and then Eddie, bless his soul, got me into his workout class, which was a love-hate relationship, that class. He just started teaching me all of these, Olympic lifting movements and just showing me how to work out. I wasn't really a very athletic kid. So really my first experience with working out was in college, like first serious experience. And I absolutely loved it. After taking Eddie's class and just like starting there and learning from him, I just loved seeing how strong I could be. I kind of fell in love with that feeling. Fast forward, graduated from college and started in retail, and no offense to the people that I worked with because I absolutely adore them, love them all. Didn't love retail. Being in the customer service industry is, to put it nicely, something else. We'll just say that. One day I came home and I just thought, what is the job that I've had that I absolutely have loved? What was that one thing, whatever it was? And the first job that came to my mind was this job I had in college at the gym. And instantly I was just like, okay, let's try working in fitness. Like, I really loved it. Let's do it. So I went and got my certification, and then a couple months after that, quit my retail jobs and was lucky enough to get hired at a gym, train me 24/7 in Savannah, Georgia. And the owner of that gym was the nicest person. He was like, well, you don't have like a ton of experience, but we'll just throw you into it. And he did, and I'm so grateful because the clients that I got there, I learned from so much and just have been going since then. Fast forward a little more, we were in the midst of the pandemic. So we were just like, okay, now's the time. Like, let's do it. So we sold all of our stuff, packed the dogs and a couple suitcases in a van and drove cross country. And it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. Love it out here in Glendale. And now I get to do even more of what I love. I have lived here for 2 years now. I work out of 4 different gyms and have my own training business that hopefully will cascade or snowball itself into a gym of my own one day, but for now, this is what I do and I'm loving it. So with that being said, we'll kind of segue into the first topic of the Empower podcast. Wow, I'm so excited, which is intermittent fasting. So like I said before, I am a certified personal trainer with specialties in fitness, nutrition, and sports performance. I do nutrition coaching or nutrition advising with my clients, but I'm gonna preface this right now so that everybody can hear it. I am not a registered dietitian, okay? And I'm gonna explain that because as personal trainers with specialties in fitness nutrition, we can nutrition coach, but I cannot write specific meal plans for you. With nutrition coaching, I get a lot of questions about, what should I eat before and after a workout? What is intermittent fasting? Is a question I get a lot. And you know what? That one kind of made me curious as well because I have heard a lot about intermittent fasting. Personally, I have never tried it myself, but I thought that that was a good kind of place to start because that is one that I do see talked about in social media a lot, but a lot of people don't really know how it works. First of all, intermittent fasting is also known as intermittent energy restriction. It's any of various meal timing schedules that cycle between voluntary fasting and non-fasting over a given period. My personal experience with intermittent fasting is almost slim to none because I love food, absolutely love food, okay? And anything with the word fasting in it, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of shy away because when I am hungry, it's not good for anybody. It's not good. And Ali can attest to that. It's just not good for anybody. But we're gonna look into it, even if I don't do it or it's not something that I personally practice. I want to be able to help people who want to try it and it works for them. It does work for some people and for others it doesn't. So we're going to get into that a little bit. You're basically putting the times that you eat and the times that you don't eat on more of a regular kind of time periods. So for instance, you might try eating only during an 8-hour period each day and fasting for the remainder, or you might even choose to eat only one meal a day, 2 days a week. So I found this on Hopkins Medicine. And a couple of other different areas have talked about this as well, that like you can do day fasting, which is like I mentioned before, a 16-to-8 ratio. So that's within the day, 16 hours of not eating and 8 hours of eating. But there's also a 5-to-2 ratio, which is eating regularly 5 days a week. And for the other 2 days of the week, you limit yourself to 500 or 600 calories. And me personally, that doesn't sound particularly healthy or favorable to me, but hey, fasting can work for some people. I'm not saying that it doesn't. That doesn't appeal to me. Basically, the benefits of this is after the hours without food, the body kind of exhausts its sugar stores and starts burning fat, which can be referred to as metabolic switching. Yes, it kind of helps your body or forces your body to kind of go into that reserve of sugar or fat that you have built up with food, but again, you don't have to have or be doing intermittent fasting in order to do that. So within those ratios of times that you eat, so say you are practicing a 16-8 ratio, within that 8 hours, you don't want to go nuts, going kind of crazy and thinking, oh my gosh, let me eat all of the food that I can possibly take in 8 hours because I only get 8 hours and I don't want to be hungry. That's not going to help us reap the benefits of intermittent fasting. You still have to be mindfully eating and giving yourself nutrient-dense foods and just eating properly. You just want to be eating mindfully. You want to be getting the whole grains, leafy greens, healthy fats, and lean proteins that your body needs during that 8 hours. It doesn't mean go nuts because you only have 8 hours to eat. So with intermittent fasting, there are changes that occur from this like metabolic switch or the intermittent fasting that affect your body and your brain, which some of these benefits are related to memory, heart health, physical performances, tissue health, diabetes or obesity issues. So we're gonna dive into that a little bit more as well. So when it comes to thinking and like memory stuff, this is a benefit of intermittent fasting. Studies have discovered that intermittent fasting boosts working memory in animals and verbal memory in adult humans. Like I said, I have not had personal experience with this. This is, after reading this and doing this research a couple weeks ago, I was interested in it. For me personally, not enough to actually go for it. But like I said, that doesn't mean it doesn't work. I've had a lot of clients that do intermittent fasting or they do a ratio where they like go a day in the week where they fast, and it works for them. It helps them, maintain a healthy weight. They don't feel like their blood sugar has dropped. They don't feel any negative impact from being hungry. Like, they feel great, and more power to them, let me tell you. So for heart health, intermittent fasting improves blood pressure and resting heart rate, as well as other heart-related measurements. So one of my first questions was, is intermittent fasting safe even? Because, one of the biggest things that I tell my clients is to eat. If you're gonna be working out, if you're gonna be physically active, you wanna be able to eat to fuel that and support that. So is it even a good idea? Is it safe? It is good for weight management. It kind of gives or introduces that sense of discipline. I would kind of use it as a first step to discipline. If you struggle kind of restricting certain foods, remember everything in moderation. But if you struggle taking certain foods away or just pulling back on some, intermittent fasting might be a good idea, because you still get that discipline and you still have some restrictions for yourself, but you don't feel like you're taking anything away or missing out on anything. But intermittent fasting does have some sensitivities, I would say. If you are obviously a woman who is pregnant or is breastfeeding, you want to make sure that you have all that fuel, that you're getting all those nutrients, because you need more to fuel your body, not less. So intermittent fasting may not be the best option for them. Children and teens under 18, kids are constantly growing. You need that food to go through those growth spurts, to go through that brain development. So I would suggest maybe not intermittent fasting if you are under the age of 18. It can be a sensitive topic. It doesn't mean you can't do it, but anyone that might have a history or is struggling with eating disorders or even just food relationships in general, if you don't have a good relationship with food, I don't know if I would necessarily right off the bat recommend intermittent fasting. It would definitely be something that I would look more into if you do have kind of a sensitivity or bad relationship with food already. But it can be a nice lifestyle change. So it's always kind of a good idea you can experiment with it, but just proceed with caution. I'm a big believer of, if you are hungry, listen to your body, feed your body what it needs. Your body does have a lot of intuition and does know a lot of the time what you need. And I believe that your body tries to tell you what you need by the things that you crave or any deficiencies, or, it shows up in other places in your body. So I totally believe, listen to your body. If you're hungry, feed it. And that's kind of where I stand on intermittent fasting. Health benefits aside, I do have to say one thing that I have read about intermittent fasting is that it just makes healthier eating kind of simpler, in the sense of you're cooking fewer meals that need fewer preparation and less cleanup. So maybe I will get onto intermittent fasting, because I really hate doing the dishes. I hate it so much. But we'll see. Wouldn't that be like a funny way for me to get into intermittent fasting? If people ask me about it, they're just like, oh yeah, what made you get into intermittent fasting? And I'm like, I hate doing the dishes. So that's why if I eat less, I can clean up less. I don't have to clean as often. So works for me. But if anyone else does have any other questions about this, please feel free to ask me. I want to learn just as much as you guys do, and I want to help just as much as I can. So I'm going to take a deeper dive into this. But if you are interested in trying it, like I said, it's to each their own. Everybody can try it. It is good for weight management, and it's a good way to introduce discipline into your fitness journey. So that is going to kind of wrap up this episode. I'm so excited. I can't wait to continue this and go on to episode 2. And I can't wait for you guys to listen to this. This is just going to be so great. I can't wait to help you guys through your health and wellness journeys as much as I can. I hope that you like and listen and share this podcast with anybody else that might have health and wellness questions and concerns, or is just really into healthy living and fitness and nutrition and all that good stuff. I will see you guys on the next podcast, or you will hear me on the next podcast, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.